Welcome to Hoovie's Garage, the dumbest automotive channel in all of YouTube, and it's time to decide what to do with my 2004 Maybach 62 that has just been, well, collecting dust for the past year or so. It's been out once, and that was to take it on a track day with the Bugatti Veyron and some other cars, so a very unlikely use of a Maybach 62, and that really did a number to the suspension bushings. I think the lower control arm bushings that need to be replaced, or the lower control arms themselves, and I don't even want to know how expensive that is. In addition, it threw warnings for the brakes, the complicated double SBC system that this car, my SLR McLaren, and a lot of Mercedes from the mid-2000s had. It was basically a brake-by-wire system, electronic, that they abandoned in 2007 or 8, depending on the car. And this one has two of them, because every single corner of this Maybach has two calipers. So 8 calipers on this braking system, so this giant car can stop, but it does have a twin-turbo V12 and a lot of power, so it can go as well. But I haven't been driving it because of the brake warning light, because of the suspension bushings, and I really just need to go through and fix it and decide, am I going to sell it? Because if it's a car I'm not driving, it's worth, I don't know, $45,000 to $55,000, because it's the very rare partition with the electrochromatic roof. I need to sell it and move on to something that I will use and enjoy and make YouTube videos about. But I do feel like if it was fixed, it has 107 or 8,000 miles on it, I would drive it a whole lot more. So it's sort of the back and forth going on in my head. But either way, whether I'm selling it or keeping it, one thing needs to happen, and it needs to be fixed as much as it possibly can. So that's what's going to happen in today's video. And speaking of high mileage luxury cruisers, my friend Euro Agent Bob bought a 2018 BMW 760, the last line of V12 BMWs that we'll compare this with, except it has over 190,000 miles on it, and he bought it for dirt cheap, and I believe he's getting it ready to sell for dirt cheap. So we're going to inspect that today and take a look at a lot of V12 luxury goodness, which both automakers don't make anymore. Man, this thing's dusty. Yeah, this is a long boy, being the 62, and very rare with a partition. You look online and there's some for sale for over $200,000, the S edition. There's one with a crazy asking price. I think the cheapest for sale right now is $80,000. But this one, having 107,000 miles, definitely works against it. But being a partition, that is very rare, a very expensive option. And you can see reclining seats. It has a refrigerator in here. Oh, there's a juice box and Scooby snacks in there for the kids. Interesting. And a lunch tray for them to eat those snacks, consume them. Also, a nice desk. So very fancy machine. You see the clocks up there as far as the speedometer and the time and the outside temperature. This is a serious luxury vehicle that was a big failure for Mercedes because it was very expensive. This thing, $500,000 with new, and it looked a lot like a Mercedes S-Class, so people really didn't get it. In person, it's definitely striking and bold and crazy looking, but in photos it's difficult to imagine just how large this thing is. And there was a car up above that was leaking that dripped on this thing. It is very dusty just from sitting so much, and yeah, the suspension bushings definitely need to be fixed, and that brake warning light. But the brake warning light's kind of a nifty deal because it's still warranted by Mercedes. They still warranty this SBC braking system. So one side actually failed on this, and I took it in and they fixed it. But it is back. And yeah, the low battery warning, I think it needs a new battery in the back. But yeah, service exceeded by 197 days, but not by mileage. And I'm really curious what they're gonna find on a 107,000 mile Mercedes with their courtesy check with the oil change, and then hopefully the brakes are under warranty again. That would be very nice. Well, we'll see what the Mercedes dealer says. Hopefully good news. I already know the code, so I'm not that worried. But now we got to see this mystery car from Bob right here pulling in. There is no way this thing has 200,000 miles on it. Holy smokes. I mean, I'm more partial to the old 7 Series, the 740 iSport, but this is the last of the dinosaurs right here, the V12 7 Series. Okay. That's good. There's no way, Bob. Really?
Check this out. There it is, right there.
196, 348.
Yes, I've already put in the short time I've had it 1,000 miles on this car.
So this was just driven by someone all the way to the moon, and then they just traded it in, and you bought it.
Yeah, they traded into the local BMW dealer, and they traded it on a brand new car, spec'd out, basically the same. So this is obviously a business guy. This must be his transportation.
Because you called me when it
He
popped
must not
up
like
for
to
sale.
fly.
Yeah. So you called me when this popped up, thinking it would be perfect for me, and then you seized it for yourself.
Well, it's funny, I always look at the list the night before, right? So you see the cars and some auction pictures, which really don't, they never tell the story, right? And then the mileage, and then I'm always texting you like, hey, I'm going to the auction tomorrow.
Right.
You saw that and you were like, wow. And so I was literally like thinking that I would be buying this for you, and I got here and I drove it, and I'm like,
he's done this a few times before. he's still so. There's seriously nothing wrong with this.
there's nothing wrong. I put 1,000 miles on this. There was no lights on it when I bought it. And there hasn't been a single fault or light on this.
Baloney. We're going to start digging into this thing, and we're going to find stuff wrong with it.
Knock yourself out.
Okay, out with you, out. Because I have Carly right here, this little handy-dandy scan tool that sponsored today's video.
Oh, yeah?
I can plug into the OBD port of this car, and it communicates with my phone via Bluetooth, and you can have like dealership level quality as far as diagnostics and troubleshooting. And you can deep dive into the coding of the car. So plug it in.
Sounds like something I need to add to my tool list.
Yeah, I was able to read codes with the Maybach just fine, but where it really shines is Volkswagen and BMW products like this right here.
Really?
So let me show you. All right, the car is being checked. 10 issues right off the bat. 13, 14, 15. Okay, holding steady at 15 issues. So.
Bunch of old stored codes, probably.
We're looking. Yeah, it looks like a lot of the normal little electric stuff that's stored in modules, but not active. There is one that's showing a current fault code, though, for the speed sensor, which it doesn't have an ABS light or anything, does it?
Lights,
and the speedometer is working, so it says it's not critical according to the Spark Mechanic, which is really cool. Carly has this as far as going into diagnostics and it helping out, saying it's not critical and should not trigger an error message inside the vehicle. So that would make sense. I suppose it's one of the redundant things.
Sometimes you can have some dirt or whatever, and it'll just cut the signal for a second, and it'll immediately trip the code.
Right. So it says they recommend that the error code can be deleted, and if it comes back, then you can do more troubleshooting. So it's not anything really pending or serious. So it's nice that you have a little smart mechanic inside of Carly to tell you all that stuff. But you can also do things like check the mileage to see if it's real. Not that this one had its odometer rolled back at all, but
yeah, I don't think this is one you would not say has been rolled back, because who would roll it back to 195?
Right, but like my old Bentley, you know, from Russia, where they rolled back the odometer 4 times.
That's right.
You know, it's stored in the modules, so all the modules have to read the same. So like Lamborghinis and Bentleys, Volkswagens, you can check that to make sure it hasn't been rolled back. With 195,000 miles, this one hasn't been rolled back.
Yeah,
but
so one owner from like almost new too.
Right, but we can change the coding and mess with some of the settings. I'm sure there's some things you'd like to change. I don't know, any lights blinking or that kind of stuff?
It's like there's so much tech in this car, I don't even know where to start.
Well, how about adjusting the levels of your heated seats?
Is that, you can seriously do that?
So right now it's set to 113 degrees at level 3.
No way.
We can go all the way up to 124 degrees.
I'd like for not to cook my biscuits there.
So you don't want to sizzle. All right.
No, I think the base settings are probably fine.
Okay, well, is there anything about the car that annoys you, even though it is your baby?
All BMWs, they've got that auto tilt reversing mirror, and it's so annoying.
So it does say mirror tilt while reversing is set to medium.
Oh, yeah, you can adjust that?
You can do it slightly, or you can just turn it all off.
I'll turn it off.
Okay.
Wow, I didn't know you could do that.
Yep. All right, so I'll put it in. And this all backs up on the Carly as well, to where if you don't like the settings, you can put it all back.
Really?
But I'm coding it for you, and it's going, gone.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Let's see if it works.
Yeah, see what happens.
Okay.
Close the door.
Yeah. All right, reverse. And the mirror is staying put. There you go. Well, that's pretty cool. And there's a lot more the Carly app can do. I just barely scratched the surface. You can do live data with your engine running and do a lot of advanced diagnostics that will save you tons of money and time and labor and scan tools and all that stuff. So treat yourself to a Carly. It is linked below. A must-have if you have a hoopty or two or 20 or 30 like me and Bob, right? So check out Carly. It is linked below, and you use the code Hoovies15 for 15% off. So how much was this thing new?
This thing actually had a sticker of $173.
Seriously.
Base price I think was $156. I think base price, so almost $2,000 in options.
So it's been a few years now since they've done the V12. It's only around in Rolls Royces now, but this is pretty close to a ghost, isn't it? Holy smokes!
It is insane.
Look at this big iPad back here. Wow. Oh, and rear massaging seats. Yeah. So it basically is a Rolls Royce, isn't it? Yeah, hip activation. All right.
Slide it up. Watch this. You can just scroll.
Okay, yeah, full. Okay, upper body exercise. Yeah, TVs. Even have a little hanger for your jacket. All suede. And so you got this thing like over 80% off.
Right.
But
that's crazy.
The mileage. That's the thing.
But here's the thing, okay? Like when I'm looking at cars, buying, selling, whatever, I always tell my customers, mileage is 50% of the equation and condition is the other 50%. And you see a car like this with the condition and the service history, the miles, I've seen cars with a fourth of this miles in 10 times worse shape.
This is crazy. And it's the M760, so it's the sport version, which, yeah, pretty neat. But the last of the dinosaurs here, lots of plastic. But yeah, still this looks like the Rolls-Royce V12. I guess this is the BMW V12, but where are those? Yeah, there's those high-pressure fuel pumps back there that now are unobtainium. They just quit making the V12s and decided, we're not going to make any parts for them anymore. So I know those fuel pumps are like $5 grand a piece or $7 grand depending on the side, right?
Really? Yeah. I mean, but there's a lot of these V12s out there, so there's lots of used pumps available. You scared me, tried to scare me with that when I was looking at it, so I got to looking real quick, and there's plenty of pumps available.
Well, I figured that's why it would have been dumped at auction, because who takes this car, drives it to the moon, and then just dumps it at the BMW store?
Well, they just traded it in on a brand new one. They bought it new and they bought the guys at BMW told me he bought an exact basic spec, although they don't do the V12 anymore.
Right.
And but he got his use out of this and bought a brand new one just like it.
I'm not smelling coolant.
No, there's nothing.
Seriously? I mean, I guess you would think this could be a 50,000 mile car as far as the road rash on the front, but
yeah, you're going to see the headlights has got a little bit of road rash, and there's some chips and some stuff like that, but it's 200,000 miles. You expect that.
Right.
As a matter of fact, if this was all brand new, then you're going to say, okay, well, the car's been in a collision. See, this actually, you know, authenticates the car as being in no accident.
And then right before the kidneys got obnoxious,
yeah.
because the current 7 Series, well, is it 20 or 21 where they just got hideous?
I can't stand it.
This is the last good-looking 7 Series.
It's gorgeous. Just look at that.
Yeah.
The presence of that front end.
Okay. But it's got to be leaking something.
Well, let's raise it up. Let's raise it up.
I guess I have the lift. All right, here we go. I'm not going to taste the fluids like Wizard, but I'd have to find fluids in order to taste. Are you kidding me?
You know, I have not had this car on the lift because it was serviced when I bought it, and I'm just shaking it down so it's been at home.
Right.
So it's probably dirtier than when I bought it, actually. Look at
Seriously?
the boots.
Yeah, 195,000 miles. And it's not that old, so obviously the suspension's not going to be super worn out as far as the bushings and ball joints, because that's more.
A lot of miles, though.
Yeah, but age messes up rubber. At least that's what I'm dealing with my Maybach currently. But
yeah, but like I said, the Carfax is unbelievably extensive on this car.
Yeah,
I mean, the brakes have been changed twice.
This is a pretty goofy looking setup for a lower control arm, though. Very German engineering here. This is very complicated as far as all the ball joints here. Well, okay.
Yeah, sure. This is new for me.
Right.
You know, like I could see the dirt from my. We've had all this rain, and I've been driving this. I've been daily driving this car. I put 1,000 miles on this. What have I had this 2 weeks?
Yeah. Well, at least they made it easy to get to the oil filter.
Man,
huh?
That is nice. Look at the look. It's dry.
There's nothing. There's not even a hint of seepage.
You would expect some residue, some film, some seepage.
Well, isn't this typical? Just when an automaker kind of figures something out,
right? Then they
with the V12s, then they kill it, and now it's going to be these high-strung, you know, turbocharged little engines. Okay, and yeah, there's the active suspension part as far as the level arms and the air ride. But that's a lot going on, but
it works.
Yeah,
and it's obviously this is reliable because. Look, this is testament, right? Look at the differential. That's the input pinion seal.
Yeah. So when these came out, nobody would have ever guessed that they would be able to go 200,000 miles with all their complication, all their ridiculousness as far as BMW technology being what it is. But here we are. I mean, this thing's dumping from its front seal as far as the...
And how many miles?
At 72,000 miles. It needs a suspension. It's dumping fluid everywhere. It's being a typical BMW, and this is supposed to be the glory years of these cars.
It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
So is this just like just the pinnacle before it all goes to crap? I mean, is this like, what is this? You tell me.
I don't know. What's it going to be
like? It's hard to figure this out.
Right. In a decade, is this going to still be holding together as well? I think. Probably not. I mean, this is all pretty complicated.
It's done 3 decades worth of miles.
Right. But is BMW going to be able to support these cars and be willing to provide parts and keep them going? That's going to be the big question. Mercedes is so good about that.
Yeah.
But other automakers aren't. And that's
here's the thing with BMW, though, is whenever parts go obsolete, you know, the aftermarket always kicks in. You know, and sometimes there's that little transition time where it's new and there's nothing available, but then when demand comes, the aftermarket kicks in.
Well, there's not a lot of 760s out there.
No, Arnaud already has struts for it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess the last thing I need to do is drive this, but I still don't believe you. I don't believe my eyes here. This is nuts.
This was kind of scary for me too because I didn't know what to find. I haven't been under this car.
All right, Bob. Oh, you want to be driven?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I got my little tablet here.
All right. Well,
you're not gonna believe this. So, sun protection. Open all. I control everything back here.
Very nice. It's very Maybach. How about that?
And then close all. Watch this. Look at all the shades. The whole car closes.
Full snobbery. Yeah. Well, I'm mad at you for taking this from me after you offered it to me. But then again,
nothing for you to do.
Right, exactly. I make a video, I buy a 200,000 mile BMW, and nothing's wrong with it. Yeah, not the most.
It doesn't make sense.
Jeez. Wow. Holy smokes. But at the same time, it is so smooth.
It is incredible. The ride is really nice.
What wacko weird world is this?
I don't know.
This shouldn't be possible. This should be an absolute nightmare with all kinds of little, you know, niggly problems.
Yeah, no. I'll tell you something funny is there was a BMW of this vintage over at Johnny's, and I was just over there dropping something off, and I was like, hey, here's another 7 Series like mine. Had 60,000 miles on it, and it was a complete hoopty. It was just, you could just tell, like, cosmetically, it was tore up. I mean,
it's just a matter
my hat's off to this owner.
Yeah, just a matter of who owns it and how they take care of it.
That's a lot of it.
Yeah, all right.
This is incredible back here.
Well.
Let me hit my seat. Whoa!
Yeah, they definitely didn't go...
Oh my gosh!
Tracking it against a Bugatti and drift it like Tyler Potter did with my Maybach, which led to
hilarious.
It hurt it, obviously.
Did it really do some damage?
Yep. All right. Well,
I'm doing my whole body exercise here. Hold on.
What? You're massaging?
Yeah, I'm adjusting my seat back.
Oh, okay. Well, before Bob makes any weird noises, I guess yeah, we'll go back and yeah, wait for the Maybach. Yeah. Well, a very impressive BMW out of Bob's, and I just picked up the Maybach, and we have a very, very impressive repair. So, One of my SBC units did have an internal fault, a failure, way bigger than the last time that it was in, so they had to replace the entire unit. And because the new ones aren't compatible with the old ones, they had to replace both, because on the Maybach there's 2 brake units on this thing, and the cost is $10,681 a piece. A piece. So over $20,000 for the parts. The grand total labor wasn't that much because it's warranty work, $21,332, and Mercedes paid for all of it because it's still under warranty. So a miracle, an absolute miracle, and it means that this car has a brand new braking system that I'll never have to worry about. This thing will go out of warranty, but it's all brand new now to where I don't have to worry about the latest version. Now the suspension, unfortunately that's another story. So I got a quote on the parts to replace the lower control arms. They have them in stock, that's the nice part, but the cost is $4,200 each. So per side, per lower control arm, so that's, yeah, that's $8,400 if I want to get the part. So we're not doing that. I did get the ball joints from Mercedes. They're in this box. They do look very beefy and well built. Yeah, about $500 for a pair of these, and then another $500 directly from China for some lower control arm bushings that hopefully the Car Wizard can press in and fix my suspension that way, because if not, I'm spending $8,000, which I definitely don't want to do. And it definitely needs to be done, because when you drive this thing, well, it's kind of all over the place. The steering still feels tight, but the suspension itself, it's just a little wandery and kind of all over the place. We'll see what the Wizard has to say. Fingers crossed. April, when she's in here, she only rides in the back. That's just how she rolls. Well, we got at the Wizard's, and up on the lift, the only lift that it'll fit, because the normal 2 posts, it's way too long for the arms to fit. So, been there, done that with this thing just barely fitting, and Wizard is noticing that all the parts that I bought are not needed.
Not needed. So we got Shamu on the lift and checking everything out. You purchased some lower control arm bushings and some ball joints for the lower control arm.
Yes.
Well, I've been checking on that, and Danielson checked it over too. That everything's tight, nothing's loose here. No ball joints are loose here. And I'll go ahead and do the other side as well, and then we'll lift it up. Look at the lower control arm bushings.
So I just assumed, just on the feeling of my butt in the seat, that that's what it needed, but you know, I could have had somebody look at it beforehand and then tell me.
You should have. Look, no muffler Newton, you hear it?
Yep, no muffler Newton.
Every time, I tell you. So, yeah, the parts you ordered, and we're going to raise it up and show you the lower control arms are fine. And then we'll lower it down, I'll show you what we found. But you could have let me look at it, but you just like burning through cash. You ordered totally unnecessary parts, tons of parts.
Yeah, I can't return the bushings from China.
It's like people are starving in Africa, and you're just lighting money on fire.
And we could put them on, but then we risk like not being able to do it, and then I have to buy lower control arms that I don't need,
right, if
the bushings don't work. So well, anyway, he found what's wrong, which is not as bad, but yeah. And that air hissing noise is your lift, not my Maybach air ride. Yeah.
Air, no. So that bushing is good. That one's hard to get to, but we're able to check that one. The rubber is all in good shape. It's nice and tight. Danielson checked the rear ones already.
It's just not jiggling around at all.
No, they're nice and tight. Both sets of lower control arm bushings are fine. You ordered this ball joint right here.
Yeah.
But it's not loose. It's like brand new. So this bushing on the air strut is also good. It's not torn or anything. So nothing on the underneath needs to be replaced at all.
Right. I'm going to have you do an oil change. I'm noticing there's a little bit of oil around here, but not bad. Is it off the drain plug?
It could be.
Doesn't look like it's higher than that.
No. I don't think it's anything to worry about at the moment. It's not dripping anywhere.
Right. Okay. So what is the culprit for my weird steering?
We'll lower it and show you. So it is your upper control arm bushings. I have my green screwdriver currently poked. You can see how wide the crack is. That entire bushing is just destroyed.
Yeah, I see. It is nuked.
And the other side is the same as well.
So why would the uppers fail so dramatically before the lower ones?
The lower ones are pretty stout. They have front and rear, and they're much larger. Whenever, I think this happened when you took it on track. Mm-hmm. And up here, we just have one set of bushings taking all of that flexing of the wheels going like this.
Okay, well, I guess I'm back to shopping for bushings. Mm-hmm. I didn't see upper bushings when I was looking for it, but I know Mercedes still makes all this stuff, so hopefully it's not as expensive. So I'll do some research into that, but I guess in the meantime, it'll wait for parts. I can take something else home though, right? Yeah.
Yeah. The Commander is done. We got the transmission cooler lines, radiator hose, fluids changed out. It's ready to go, and the Avalanche is ready to go too.
Yeah, we're whittling away at that in-store credit. I traded the Audi R8, and there's Mrs. Wizard's Boxster S that I covet your wife's Boxster S for sure.
Not the box, just the box.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's a good thing. You're a married man now.
Yeah, I am. Yes. That is a heck of a car. So.
Well, I don't have to chase you down because you have in-store credit, so it doesn't do any good.
It's wonderful. So how much is left?
Just a few $100 on the Avalanche. We had to replace the wiring all the way from the ECM all the way to the fuel tank.
Right.
It was broken in multiple places.
So now I have a working fuel gauge.
Yes.
Awesome. So that's probably getting close to $10,000 into that Avalanche sorting it out. But yeah, anyway, yeah, cool.
This is your Jeep Commander that I warned you not to buy.
The Commander.
Only $1,094.
Yeah, after all the stuff we did with Potter. So you did the diffs and the transfer case. Fingers crossed on the transfer case. You put in the magic bottle stuff to hopefully save it because it was throwing a code for worn clutches. And then I didn't feel good about the transmission cooler line. That was a thing that, yeah, it was not leaking that much, but still, it was the only big drip it had. So.
It was leaking right on the lower radiator hose, and it was starting to compromise the rubber on that.
Okay, so another $1,000 for it to be sorted out for now.
For now. There's going to be more, I guarantee it. Always more on a Commander.
It'll be fine.
No, it won't, guys.
It'll be fine. Okay, well, I'll cruise home, I guess, in the Commander this time.
Okay.
And yeah, see about returning some parts and swapping some other parts out because I'm an idiot. Why didn't I have you look at it before?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Well, I was hoping to tie up this video in a nice little neat bow and having a fixed Maybach for you all. That's why I pre-bought the parts, which was actually kind of dumb in retrospect because the Wizard could have fixed it in a few days. But the upper control arms, they are available. I can get them, but it'll take about a month. One I can get in a week. The other one will take about a month to get from Germany. And they are expensive, but not nearly as expensive as the lower control arms. They are $1,200 each, less beefy up top and less beefy on the price as well. So I am grateful for that and grateful that I can still get it because I cannot find the bushings. So all in all, about $2,500 plus probably $500 or so for the Car Wizard to install them, which means for $3,000 I was able to fix about $25,000 worth of work on the Maybach 62 thanks to that long warranty with Mercedes. So I am very, very grateful, but now I need to decide whether or not to keep the Maybach, and honestly I'm leaning towards not. Even though I love the thing, I've owned it for 3 years, I'm not using it very much, and it's not doing much for me in the way of videos. So I'm thinking of moving on to another luxury land yacht. But I am going to wait, like I said earlier in this video, and drive the car all sorted out again and make the final decision. Thank you so much for watching.